You ever notice how scammers always seem to be one step ahead? That's because they study human nature. And they've moved on from scamming grandma and now are targeting people who think they're too tech savvy to get fooled. And that's you. According to the FTC, Americans lost over $12 billion to scams in 2024. That's a 25% jump. And that's just the people who bothered to report it. In my over 25 years in finance, including a career handling a billionaire's money, I've seen lots of scams come and go. And in this video, I'm exposing 10 of the sneakiest, most common scams. And by the end, you'll know how to spot every one of them. Scammers exploit cognitive overload. They just wait until you're stressed out or overloaded, because that's when your brain wants to take shortcuts, which leads you open to bad decisions. And because some of these cons are so slick, they fooled people who thought they'd never fall for anything. Let's start with one that hits where you least expect it, your dream job. This one gets you when you're most vulnerable, when you need a job. You get an email that says you've been hired before you've even had an interview. That should be red flag number one. In the first half of 2025, there were approximately 62,000 reports to the FTC of job or employment-related tech scams. The scammer will say it's a remote job with great pay and flexible hours, but they'll need you to buy equipment or training materials. Then they send you a fake check for $2,000 and tell you to send them back $500 for equipment. So you deposit the $2,000 check, you send them the $500, and guess what? By the time your bank realizes their check was a fake, the scammer and your $500 are long gone. So why does this scam work so well? Because they're exploiting psychological principles, scarcity and urgency bias. When you are desperate for money, you become less rational and make quick decisions based on FOMO, which often has a negative effect on your wallet. But scammers don't stop once they steal your cash. They've got another trick that makes you think you're investing in yourself, but we'll get there soon. For now, just remember, if they promise fast money, they're only talking about trying to take yours. The next scam is the investment guru trap. Every generation has this type of scammer. You're scrolling online, you see a guy sitting in front of a rented Lamborghini talking about passive income, and he says his AI trading bot made him $10,000 overnight. It's the oldest trick in the book. That's authority bias at work. Flash a fancy car, talk fast, act confident, and suddenly you just assume they're an expert. They don't get rich from trading. They get rich off you buying their course. Warren Buffett said it 100 different ways, but it all boils down to this. If someone promises to make you rich quick, don't listen to them. The next scam doesn't even look like a scam. It looks like a normal online sale until your money vanishes. This one's sneaky. Here's how it goes. You post something online to sell, someone accidentally overpays you with a check, then they ask you for a refund. You refund the extra, then their check bounces, and you've just refunded your own money to them. They count on reciprocity. You feel bad keeping someone's extra payment, so you refund it. Or you buy something through Venmo or Cash App, and the seller disappears. Marketplace type frauds are among the fastest growing scams. Never use instant pay apps with strangers. Even eBay and Facebook warn sellers to avoid payment apps with no buyer protection. The best way to buy and sell is to meet in person and in public. And if you think these people are heartless, wait until you see the next group. They'll pretend to help you, and that's how they get you. You see these all over social media. We'll erase your student loans instantly for a small fee. Today, Americans hold over $1.8 trillion in student debt. No wonder scammers smell blood. They exploit stress and relief bias. When you're drowning in debt, the promise of instant forgiveness starts to sound believable. Then they ask you for a $200 upfront processing fee. You pay, and they disappear. The government never charges for forgiveness programs. If someone asks you for money to reduce your debt, walk away. The U.S. Department of Education will never charge you to apply for forgiveness. And the next scam doesn't want your hope, it wants your panic. This one hits differently because it feels urgent. You get a message that your account's frozen or you owe taxes, you panic, you click the link, And now they've got your login and your identity. That's fear bias at work. When your brain panics, you skip logic and click before you think. I've seen real bank alerts and I've seen fake ones. The real ones never ask you for your password. So here's a rule. The IRS doesn't text you, ever. And your bank doesn't DM you. If it feels urgent, slow down and verify it first. Remember, fear is the scammer's favorite method of payment. And after scaring your wallet, scammers move on to something even more powerful, your heart. This one stings because it preys on emotion and loneliness. They start sweet, they'll text you daily chats, build an emotional connection, share photos, and maybe promise to visit you. Then the emergency hits. Their phone broke, or their mom's sick and they can't pay the hospital bill, or their credit card got declined. You send them money, and then they ghost you. They use what's called affective trust. They get your heart involved, so your brain stops asking questions. One group that scammers target with this is people who support the troops. Here's how it works. The scammer poses as a member of the military. And here's the ugly truth. These scammers may steal photos of real military personnel for their fake profiles. They might say they need cash to apply for a leave request, to visit you, or to pay for food or medical treatment during their deployment. The scammers ask you to send them care packages by wiring money through an official-looking, but totally fake, military website. Love doesn't ask for wire transfers or gift cards. And once they're done breaking hearts, the next group will try to recruit you, and you'll want to run away. They sell you a business opportunity. Be your own boss, financial freedom, or work from anywhere. There's just one catch. You have to pay to join. And to make money, you have to recruit more people to pay to join. If the big money comes from recruiting other people and not from selling anything real, that's not a business. You're not an entrepreneur. You're an unpaid recruiter for their scam. Over 99% of MLM participants lose money, according to consumer research. So if the money comes from recruiting and not real sales, it's a pyramid scheme. And the only person getting rich is the one at the top. After the pyramid crowd finishes pretending to make you rich, the next bunch will pretend they'll help you get educated. Here's one that preys on hope, the scholarship scam. You see a flashy ad promising guaranteed funding or exclusive access to thousands in free money for school. All they need, a small processing fee. Yep. The only thing they're processing is your payment. Legit organizations post scholarships on verified sites, never through messages. Real scholarships don't need a middleman, and they definitely don't charge you to apply. If they do, you're not applying for aid. You're signing up to get played. Anytime you pay money to get money, you're on the wrong side of the deal. And if that scam doesn't steal your tuition fund, the next one might be sitting in your inbox right now, pretending to fix your computer. So you're browsing online and suddenly, boom, a pop-up screams, your computer's infected. Call this number immediately. So you panic, dial the number, and a technician kindly offers to remote into your computer. The next thing you know, they've installed spyware, locked you out, or charged you $300 to fix a problem that they caused. Or worse, they steal your logins and maybe even drain your bank account. The FBI says tech scams cost Americans over $1.4 billion a year. And with the rise of AI, pop-up virus alerts are trending again. This time, though, with an AI voice pretending to be from popular tech companies. Now, the final scam is sneaky because it feels harmless. This one happens when you get a message saying, take our quiz to find your money personality, or sign up for a free giveaway, free gift card, or free iPhone. The scammer is using curiosity bias. You click just to see what's inside, and that's all it takes. All they want is your info, your email, your birthday, and for verification, your social security number. You've basically just hand-delivered your identity to a scammer. The FTC said they received over 1.1 million theft reports for identity during 2024. If it's free, but asks for personal info, it's not free, and you're the product. Here's the truth. Scams aren't about stupidity. They're about emotion. Every single one plays on fear, pride, greed, or loneliness. When you're overwhelmed with bills, student loans, or job hunting, your guard drops, and that's when they strike. That's how even smart people get played. You see, building wealth isn't just about making money, it's also about protecting it. Even after 25 years in finance, I still double check every email link. So do yourself a favor, slow down, double check, and never let anyone rush you into a decision, especially with money. Because the smartest people with money aren't the ones who earn the most, they're the ones who keep the most. But here's the twist. Even if you avoid scams, you could still be making mistakes and losing money and not even realize it's happening. And it's not a scammer doing it, it's you. And because these mistakes feel normal and everyone's doing them, that's a problem. So if you want to stop tripping over the same money traps your friends are walking right into, I'll show you how in this video.